My worthy opponent is Revathy. She's doing her internship at Gafoor Dental College. She's originally from Alapura. We both love anime, as we got to talk about it. We both love anime. She's really into social service. She's a fantastic dancer and reads a lot of autobiographies.
Alright, Revathy, now please introduce Farhan.
Morning, everybody. I would like to introduce to you my worthy opponent and my acquaintance, Mr. Farhan, a student of legal studies at QZAT. He's a final year student. More than being a speaker, he's a leader, a traveler by passion, and a lawyer by profession. I wish you all the best, Farhan.
All the best to you.
All the best to both of you. Farhan, you get 30 minutes to start your topic. Farhan, your time starts now.
The government is elected to run the state, not the life of its citizens. Let's just look into the things that was banned by our respected government in the past 1 or 2 years. Beef, ban on slaughter, restriction on consumption. Porn, banned but later taken away. Condom ads during prime time. We have a population of 1.4 billion. If the TV should be advertising something, that should be condoms. We have valid documentaries like Nirbhaya being banned. It is all
Alright, time out. Now, Revathy, your time starts now.
Respected judges and honorable gathering, a nanny state, the term is coined by Ian McClare, and the political leaders define it as a government that excessively interfered in the life of its citizens. And democracy is considered as the ultimate tool to fight nannydom. In countries which follow nannyism, the citizens do not have a voice to speak against the government. So to clean the slate, here's my question. If India was a nanny state, will we be able to conduct this debate today, questioning the principles and functioning of our ruling government?
Time out. Now you both get 3 minutes to debate on the topic. Your time starts now.
The simple argument that we are able to debate about our government currently is not a valid proof of India being a nanny state. He's saying as if that he has only cut my hand and not my head. It will come to that point. Just think about the things that are banned by our country. Right to eat, right to what we wear, right to determine how many children we have. Our government is interfering in each and every single aspect of a citizen's life. It is almost as if the government wants to dictate to us what is right and what's wrong.
My worthy opponent, I can substantiate my point. The definition of nannyism itself states that it's a government that excessively interferes in the day-to-day life of a citizen. The next part of the definition is something to be very, very conveniently forget. The citizens do not have the right to voice against the government. That is the title feature of a nanny state. And in India, today, we have, and we have always had, and we always have the right to speak, criticize constructively our government. And that is a fundamental right that we enjoy.
We are going through a condition wherein the people who talk against the state are severely being targeted. We have cases wherein people have gone missing. We have cases wherein people were killed because they stood right against the policies of the government. So to say that we still have the right to do so, it is only a matter of time before it comes to our throats. Now, the right of a citizen to choose what is right or wrong for him is fundamental in nature. I have the right to choose what is right for me. I also have the right to choose what is wrong for me, even if I know it is wrong for me. That is what is called freedom.
Let me remind you, my friend, the fundamental rights are not absolute. There are conditions where you do not enjoy the fundamental rights. And that is the point that celebrates the spirit of the democracy and the diversity that forms our country.
I would like to point you to the direction of a particular case. It's A.K. Gopalan versus the state of Madras, in which the definition for Article 21 was clearly prescribed by the court. It is said that no person shall be deprived of his right to life or liberty unless through a procedure established by law. And in further definition, the procedure established by law should be just and fair. So you say that there are restrictions placed on by government and these interferences are a part of the procedure established by law, but they are not just and fair.
There is another point, there is another side to the coin that we should see. See, regulations, that is what is happening in our country. Regulations are necessary to safeguard the sentiments of the minority and avoid a catastrophe, rather than just going with the majority's idea. This is exactly what our government is doing here. Instead of supporting the majority's idea, it's trying to think for each and every citizen. Be it one person, it still matters.
if our government is doing something, it is only standing by the rights of the majority and does not address the rights of the minority.
All right. Time out. Left to switch. Now Revathy will speak for the topic and Farhan will speak against the topic. Revathy, you get 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
A nanny state, it's defined as a government that intervenes excessively in the day-to-day life of its citizens. So when the government set boundaries to my day-to-day life, restrict my diet, restrict my dress code, let's not forget an Aadhaar card here and a PAN card there. I need not dig into historian observations or social statistics to substantiate that India is becoming a nanny state. The authoritarianism and coerciveness of the government is sitting on my liberty, and that is why I support the notion that India today is becoming a nanny state.
Time out, Revathy. Now Farhan, your time starts now.
As a government, the state has a parental capacity. It has a responsibility towards the citizens wherein it should protect the rights. It should protect the interest of the citizens just like a parent. Just because I have a right to life does not mean that I have the right to end my life as well. That is why suicide is considered to be a criminal offense in India. So the stages wherein the government interferes into the rights of a citizen is not to be considered as a restriction, but they are mere ground rules established for the smooth functioning of our system.
Now it's time for the debate. Your time starts now.
To start with the proposition, let me remind you what the government said when it was about to start its regimen. This government will be about less government and maximum governance. But today, our government is omnipresent in our lives. It's everywhere, deciding what we wear, deciding what we eat, to probably deciding amount or the portion of food I'll order at a restaurant. Isn't this nanism? If not, what?
Let me come to some of the points my honorable opponent spoke about. Beef ban was not raised due to the concerns about hurting religious sentiments, but rather due to environmental concerns and due to the fact that our constitution just directly tells the government under directive principles of state policy to establish restrictions upon beef slaughter. If it's about porn, there have been numerous cases wherein it has been directly linked to sexual crimes in India. And the reason why Indian government banned porn or a blanket ban was opposed on porn was because that it had to track down on child pornography and pedophilia in India. So these things are done out of the best interest towards the citizens. These are not restrictions but rather actions for the betterment of the people in the society.
Okay.
My friend, let me remind you that this whole nanism, even though we're discussing about it today, it's not new to India. I'm not talking about the present ruling government. I'm not talking about the Congress government. Let's go into the most holy secular book of the country, our constitution. Very efficiently, it keeps its foot in two boats. While it speaks of principles like liberty, equality, that upfronts democracy, I agree. It also gives the government rights to ban food. It also gives government the rights to ban intoxicating drinks like alcohol. It also gives the state government to do whatever is supposed to be done as and how they feel. You don't know how they decided. So, right from the constitution itself, this is a very sensitive topic considered too holy to be discussed in our country. Right from the constitution itself, India has always had influences of being a nanny state.
There is always a balance, there is always a power play between the state and citizens. The state is about governance. It will have to take wholesome policies wherein people who are not targeted will also be affected. And there is the rights of the citizens in parallel to the rights of the government against the citizens. So fundamental rights, Article 21, Article 19, all these rights go against the government. So it is a balance of these acts. And while the government goes above these provisions or powers which are granted to the government, the public always has the right to put a stop to it. So currently, if there is such a situation wherein the country is turning into a nanny, for the sake of argument, into a nanny state, the people of the country still have the right to go against it. So in such a circumstances, there is no validity in stating that India is currently a nanny state, because that is not the case.
All right, Farhan.
By mentioning people going against the state and correcting the government, if you're mentioning to the voting that we can do and change.
All right, time out. Now, please shake your hands and meet your coordinators. Huge round of applause for Farhan and Revathy. Now.